My name's Charlie Mullins, started off as an apprentice, done a 4-year apprentice many years ago. You know, I always wanted to be a plumber, you know, that was in my mind from 9 years of age. And we're now the largest independent plumbing company in the UK. We employ 350 people, turn over 35 mil, and we're a growing company, taking on more and more work in London, have lots of apprentices on board, and looking to expand the business and continue the successful story that we've got.
For Mr. Charlie Mullins.
That's a great introduction. Can everyone hear us? That was great, and it's great to be here. I don't really come to Birmingham that often, and I wish I did, because the enthusiasm up here, and you know, to come to an awards like this with probably 500 people here or something, and it just goes to show the importance of an apprenticeship. And slightly as that's an old picture. I've had a bit of work done since then, don't worry. Anyhow, I started off as an apprentice when I was 15, and ere I become an apprentice, I used to bunk off school when I was about 9 years of age, and I'm not really recommending that to people, but you know, being sort of that academic ain't that, you know, ain't be all and end all. And I used to help a local plumber, and he had a motorbike, a car, nice house, holidays, loads of money, and probably everything I wanted. I come from a pretty poor background, and you know, that was the sort of the enthusiasm I wanted. And I always said to people, you know, the seeds were sown then. All I ever wanted to be was a plumber. So from 9 years of age, bunk off school, help this guy, get a couple of bob a week, and you know, rightly as he says now, we're, you know, largest independent plumbing company in the UK. We employ about 370, 380 people. We're growing. We have about 50 apprentices on board, and you know, I realised sort of all them years ago that education ain't everything. You know, an apprenticeship, I believe, is more value today than any degree that's out there. You know, I was told at 9 years of age that if I become an apprentice, I'll never be out of work and I'll earn loads of money. And they're right on one of them. I'm still working. But, you know, it's something that you know, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for it. And, you know, the amount of things that I've got out of being an apprentice. And it was said up here earlier tonight that, you know, a lot of apprentices go on to management and run the company, but a lot of apprentices actually wind up owning a company. You know, there's so many people I know that started off as an apprentice and now they actually got their own company, their own business, and there's not many apprentices that I believe don't do well in life. Anyhow, I leave school at 15 and very little education, no qualifications, and I realise now what a big mistake that was. You know, looking back, I should have left at 14. There's no point of being at school if you don't need to be. You know, getting an apprenticeship was just a life-changing experience. I spoke to so many people here tonight that again have done something similar. They weren't that academic, and you know, just to do an apprenticeship and where it can lead you to. And I'm not going to use that term, you know, if it can happen for me, it can happen for anybody. I'm not going to use that term, but if it can happen for me, it can happen for anybody, because you know, it's just a life-changing experience. As life went on, I started Pimlico in 1979, and we nearly went bust in, I think, the recession in the late 80s, and fortunately got through that and changed everything we'd done, started getting serious with the business, realising that, you know, you can make a lot from an apprenticeship, you can be successful, you can be a millionaire. I know money ain't everything, but, you know, I've been rich and I've been poor, and I know which one I prefer. I've met many people. Is Rammy Ranger here tonight? No? Anybody know him? Yeah, I mean, what a great guy, come from nothing, and I think to 200 mil today. And, you know, what he hasn't won in awards, etc., etc. And it probably just goes to show that, you know, they're talking about this diversity sort of thing. And I think, you know, we're all sort of really getting up on it, because you can see tonight there's a great mixture of people here. There's more and more we're encouraging people to come into apprenticeships and come into the industry. And, you know, maybe long gone are going to be the shop days for Asian people, and, you know, it's going to be where we are today. I mean, honestly, the amount of people I've met here and spoke to, and the amount of enthusiasm that's up here. I mean, this is like being at a London event, you know, 500 people, and, you know, the place is buzzing. You know, and it's been said many times tonight that, you know, it's, you know, not about winning, it's all about being in it, you know. Well, we all know that's a load of bollocks, don't we? It is about winning. Come on. It's about winning, isn't it? But at the same token, if you don't win this year and you've got here, you know, it's a great achievement, but winning is be all and end all. But what it does do for the rest of the people that don't win it, it means that, you know, you come again, and at some stage, you know, undoubtedly, you're going to win something. To get to a prestige event like this, it's just incredible. I mean, I don't think I won anything as an apprentice. I don't even think they used to do awards for apprentices. Is that right, fella? Yeah, they didn't even do them, did they? And, you know, you look at it now and you think how much we're respecting apprentices and, you know, the future that they can go on to. I remember when I was doing the plumbing and, you know, was working around sort of London and Chelsea area, and there's a lady in Gent here, a lady here that's just been made like, what is it, a Damewood lady, isn't it? What a great achievement, and she's one of our customers. She come all the way up here from Chelsea today, and no, which is lovely, isn't it? And I think you're a patron of the apprenticeship thing, so you can see how passionate people are about it. You know, I don't know much more I can say about apprenticeships. All I would say to people is that, you know, I'm sure there's an Asian Charlie Mullins out there. There's got to be one of you in the audience here, because there's so much you can get out of, you know, just be this apprentice and where it leads to. And, you know, maybe I was fortunate in life. You know, this guy I was working, who I bunked off school, he said to me, you know, as simple as that, you know, if you do an apprenticeship in plumbing, never be out of work, earn loads of money. And I actually say that to youngsters now. And, you know, I was probably told this about 40 or 50 years ago. I know what you're thinking. I don't look that old, but I am. And I could say that to now all apprentices. If you do an apprenticeship, you'll never be out of work and you'll earn loads of money. I know my time's nearly up. I've got one more last bit to say. I'm not trying to sell this book, but I do have a book that's come out, and it's all about apprentices and, you know, business tips, etc., mainly about apprenticeships. And I would say to anybody, you know, it's a great book to have and buy, and especially for youngsters, you know, it's pretty much, you know, my life and where I am today. I probably forgot to add that on the way on all this, I got an OBE for plumbing services, which is probably worth a round of applause, isn't it? Thank you. And evidently, I'm the only, I believe, the only plumber to get it for plumbing services. There was a guy, Tom Finney, the footballer, got it for football and charity services, but I believe I'm the only one. I'm sure someone here will be on Google and checking it out. But, you know, to go from apprentice to get an OBE, to be asked to become to things like this, it's just incredible. Going back to the book is there, and it ain't about the money, believe me. You know, but if anybody does want to buy the book, all the money goes to children. Is that worth a round of applause? My children. Thank you.